am a Jedi, like my father before me.
Silly Jedi, silly Jedi.
Remember, the Force will be with you, always.
You must unlearn what you have learned.
Hello, what have we here?
Hello there.
At last! Where have you been?
Nice of you guys to drop by.
Ah, good. New acquisitions.
I don't know. I have a bad feeling about this.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Star Wars Car Talk. It's the only podcast that I know of where we're driving and we're talking Star Wars. I'm Maurice from Jedi Toy Masters, and I hope you're having a wonderful summer. It's been it's been kind of like a cloudy summer so far. I mean, we've had some hot days. We've had some hot, sweaty jungle days. We've had some sunny days as well. Unfortunately, like the days that are like beautiful and are like perfect beach days, those are the days that I'm like sitting in the office at work going, man, this is a perfect beach day. And then, you know, of course, the weekend comes and it's like cloudy and rainy. Isn't that always the case? But yeah, this has been kind of a unique summer that I can remember, where it's been very, very just random clouds and random rain. But I guess that's a good thing. Rain is good, right? But you know, speaking of random things raining down on us, this week, I've been kind of on hiatus for a while. The podcast, which if you're listening to on Anchor or iTunes, you know, thank you. I hope you subscribe and write a review. Just to kind of help the show get the. We don't know how it works. It mysteriously helps the show. So please subscribe, write us a review on iTunes or an Apple Podcast. And also, tell your friends. If they like Star Wars, say, hey, there's a couple of podcasts that I listen to, and this is one of them. And if you're watching on YouTube, well, thank you for watching. And, you know, there's other videos on here, on this channel, on Jedi Toy Masters channel, where, you know, we unbox toys, we review toys, and it's just, you know, we do toy hunts, and it's fun. You know, I got 3 boys, I got 3 little Jedi that love Star Wars. We love Star Wars together, and we love toys. So there you have it. That's the sales pitch. Speaking of toys, what I wanted to kind of talk about this week, and I recently did a Jedi Toy Masters live stream. On Instagram, and it was a little bit of a rant because, man, it was on that day, that particular day. You know, Hasbro just like out of nowhere dropped pre-orders for 4 figures actually, and they were exclusive to Walmart, and it was like all of a sudden they were available for pre-order, and you had to go quick to the Walmart website, and before you know it, they were sold out. And I just remember I was able, you know, this is the trick, not so much a trick, but when you go to walmart.com, and you see that something is not available, where the buy now or add to cart button would normally be, it'll say like, you know, alert me when it's available. So I do that. I alert and I put my email, and then, you know, I'm at work, I'm sitting in the office, so I'm mindful of my email. And surely enough, later in the day, I get an email, they're available. Go quick. So I went quickly, and I was able to order I only really wanted 2 of this wave. I wanted the 2 clone troopers. There was a clone trooper. Here, I'll put the pictures right here so you can see them. There's clone trooper, was an ARC trooper, and I think it was like an ARC trooper commander or something like that. One was blue, one was red, and the gimmick is the card back shows that these are from the short-lived Clone Wars micro series before Clone Wars. This was the Clone Wars micro series that Lucas produced. Oh, excuse me. And I'm yawning because it's the morning when I'm recording this, not because I'm bored. I hope I'm not boring you, but let's keep going. So, you know, it was so frustrating that, you know, you try to do this. First of all, this whole pre-order nonsense is ridiculous. I said it then. I said it in the live stream, and it was just really ridiculous. It is ridiculous. It's just annoying that, you know, you have to deal with this. You have to do this like ridiculous pre-order thing, like, and I don't understand why or how. So here's the thing. Pre-orders are, it means you're promising a product if you pay for it now, right? So it's a great way of being able to, it's like when you buy Girl Scout cookies. There it is. That's the perfect analogy. When you buy Girl Scout cookies, you know, you pre-order them. Now granted, you are definitely getting them. That's the point. You pre-ordering Girl Scout cookies. You're saying, I want a box of this, I want a box of that. You pay for them, and whatever, a month later or a couple weeks later, you get your cookies. At no point does the person selling Girl Scout cookies say, oh, sorry, we're out of those. How are you out of those? I'm pre-ordering them. So I don't understand how it happens on Amazon. It happens on, not on Amazon. It happens on Walmart's website. It happens with Target. It happens at the Hasbro website. All of a sudden, something is ready for pre-order, and you go on there, and then it's it's sold out now. So you're telling me you're only making a specific amount of something? Like, you don't want to make any more money? Hasbro, you don't want to make any more money? Like, just leave those pre-orders open. Let everybody pre-order and make a gazillion figures and make a gazillion dollars. Like, isn't that the point of making money? Of business is goods and services. You have the goods, you sell the goods, you get money for it. Well, you got the goods, you're making Star Wars toys, we got the money, we're willing to give it to you. What's the deal with pre-orders being sold out? It's like a oxymoron, like, you know, like dry wetness. You know, like, wait, what? How is this pre-order sold out? It doesn't make any sense. And it's just been very, very frustrating, very annoying to have to go through that. I mean, it's already annoying that you can't go to a store and have stuff on the shelves. You know, you have to rely on, at this point, you have to rely on, really, like, for me at least, you know, on Instagram and on social media, you have other people that will post pictures and say, hey, look, I'm at my Walmart in Dayton, Ohio, and they just got the latest wave of these figures, or, you know, and now you got to be like, all right, I wonder if my Walmart is going to have it, you know? And you go rush to your Walmart. That happened to me this week. I'm really into the G.I. Joe retro collection, and they had somebody posted, some of the Walmarts are getting new shipments of this new wave. So I quickly was like, well, next time, that night I had to go out, so I'm like, let me stop at Walmart. Stopped at the Walmart, nothing. Went to the aisle where the Star Wars stuff would normally be, nothing. Like, completely, just nothing. I mean, it's ridiculous. At least my Walmart, they have a bunch of black sabers, which for a while they were kind of scarce, but they got the black saber there, and then you got just some of the mission fleet, couple of random mission fleet figures. So, you know, but then like a week prior, I went to Walmart and they had a little display set up with 3 figures from the new vintage line, and that was okay. Oh, cool! Finally, we see something. but they were not even on the pegs. They were like in a little cardboard display at the end of the aisle, kind of like oh, here's a little extra something for you, some actual toys that you're looking for in the toy aisle. We're not gonna put them on the pegs. We want those pegs to be empty. We want those shelves to look as empty as possible. We're Walmart, but we're becoming minimalistic. So we want to make sure these shelves are as neat and tidy and empty as possible. That's at least what the impression I'm getting from a lot of these stores. Target as well, although Target, they have smaller space, smaller aisles, so they're able to kind of fake it. They're able to scrunch up the toys a little bit and fill in little gaps with random stuff that they still have in stock. But it's just getting ridiculous. So this week's episode is brought to you by G.I. Joe toy rants and Star Wars toy rants. Because when you're looking for that Joe, or when you're looking for that Star Wars figure, knowing is half the battle, and knowing that it's not available. And that's basically what's happening. It's not available, guys. Sorry, it's not available. The pre-order, the pre-order is sold out. Oh, wait, you want to buy this in advance? A year in advance? Because that's the other thing. Like, we're talking about pre-orders for figures that are a year out. I think these 2 Clone Troopers that I pre-ordered, I think they had a release date of like somewhere in 2022. If I'm not mistaken, I think it was like January 2022 or May 2022, some ridiculous date far into the future. I don't know what's going to happen when I finally get those figures. I don't know if I'm still going to be a toy collector when I get these figures. I'm still waiting on figures I pre-ordered from Hasbro directly almost a year ago. I pre-ordered the Razor Crest, and guess what? I moved, so I'm hoping I'll be able to change my address, and there's not letting me on their website. But it's like, how are you taking pre-orders on things a year in advance? Like a year in advance? Really? You're taking our money a year in advance, and then we're at your mercy, basically. So a lot of collectors, a lot of vintage toy and toy enthusiasts, and we're just all a bunch of kids at heart. We're a bunch of kids at heart that now have the means and the wherewithal to actually, verbalize and put into action what we wanted to do as kids. I mean, as kids, you wanted to do that Toys R Us run and fill up the cart with all the toys that you want, and now as adults, like, we wish we could do that. We wish that those pegs were filled with all the figures that we want, and we would buy all the figures that we want, but now it's like, that's the irony. That's like the biggest irony in life is when we were kids, there was such an abundance of toy stores and toys on the shelves, but we were limited to the fact that we were kids and we were at the mercy of our parents and their finances on buying us toys, and we didn't really know, some kids maybe more than others, but we didn't know, like, oh man, we got to buy some of these toys, and I'm going to take care of them, and I'm going to save these. This is my collection. This is one day going to be something that I might share with my kids. We're not thinking that when we're kids, but now as adults, we're like, man, I have this little office space in my house or whatever, and oh man, I want to display the toys of my childhood. This stuff just makes me think about my childhood and the fond memories I have, and man, these toys are so cool, and oh man, now that I have kids, I want to share this with them. But then guess what? You go to the toy store. Well, first of all, there is no toy store. You go to Walmart, you go to Target, and you're disappointed. It's ironic. It's like, well, now I have the means, now I have the wherewithal, now I have the proper mindset of, I'm a kid at heart, man. I'm gonna buy this. I'm gonna collect it. I'm gonna open it. I'm gonna play with it. I'm gonna display it. I'm gonna collect them all. But there is nothing to collect because the pre-orders are sold out and there's nothing on the pegs at the store. I don't get it. I really just don't get it. And listening to a lot of folks out there, a lot of one in particular, I mentioned him before, Michael over at Retro Blasting. If you're not following Retro Blasting on YouTube and Instagram, I think they're more active on YouTube. They're an active YouTube channel. They deal mainly with retro toys, but some modern. They do a lot of live streams. There's Toy Poloi, a great YouTuber that basically teaches you how to fix these toys. There's Analog Toys, which is kind of like the Aussie version of Retro Blasting, and I love it. And then so many other toy channels, and that's like the biggest complaint. You're either collecting retro toys and vintage toys, which means you're scouring yard sales and flea markets and Facebook Market and eBay and Mercari to try to get the toys that you want, and you're paying for them. Because you're paying. If there's a demand for a particular figure from your childhood, chances are it's going to cost you. But man, it's just been so frustrating to okay, so I'm not going to collect old vintage toys because they're a lot more money, and you got to do a lot more work. Let's take the easy route. Let's just go to the toy store. Let's just go to the toy aisle, and I'll get some of the modern stuff that I want. It's happening even with Masters of the Universe. You got these Masters of the Universe toys. Amazing. Every time I see a He-Man or a Skeletor at the toy store, which is a lot because my local Walmarts and Targets have a bunch of He-Man and Skeletors. That's the figure that they got the most of, and there's so many left over. And then you see Battle Cat, and I'm like, oh my gosh, there's the Prince Adam with the air sled. I think what it's called. And I look at these toys, and they're basically like the retro toys that you remember as a kid, remade and kind of improved upon, but still in the same original packaging. So cool. I remember seeing He-Man toys, Masters of the Universe toys on the toy shelf as a kid, and I had a bunch. Those were the big three for me was G.I. Joe, Masters of the Universe, and a little bit Star Wars. Later on, it was Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, because I kind of missed the boat on Star Wars, but then in the late 90s, it became Star Wars. But as a kid, it was, the trilogy of G.I. Joe, Masters of the Universe, and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Those were the three toy lines that I was most into as a kid. And it's so tempting to just say, I'm going to collect these because, oh my gosh, I love He-Man. I love that little mini mythology that they created. That it's a toy commercial cartoon, but they did it so well. And the stories were so simple and yet entertaining, and the toys were so cool. The box art was amazing. So they're re-releasing this stuff, and it's great. But aside from He-Man and Skeletor and maybe a few other figures, all the other figures that they've been releasing are so hard to find. And I just recently found out that a lot of them were mainly released in the UK overseas and not here. Here we got plenty of He-Mans and Skeletors, but then overseas you got Many Faces and a bunch of other figures that are hard to find here. I have come across some in my toy hunts, but again, I didn't want to go down that rabbit hole. I'm focusing on Star Wars and a little bit G.I. Joe now because my boys kind of started liking G.I. Joe. They started watching the cartoons, and if I had to choose one, G.I. Joe or Masters of the Universe, G.I. Joe 100%. That's just my first love. As far as toys as a kid, G.I. Joe was my first love. Masters of the Universe and Ninja Turtles were kind of there, second place. And but guys, Star Wars became the love of my life in later in life, because of the movies first, then the toys. So it's just kind of frustrating that you can't really, you can't find anything in the stores. And so that's what I just kind of wanted to touch on today, because man, a lot of people are really frustrated. It's been a really frustrating thing. But I want to hear from you guys. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. If you're watching this on YouTube, let's start a conversation. Let me know in the comments. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Have you been lucky to find stuff on toy shelves? Let me know in the comments below. Hit me up on Instagram at Jedi Toy Masters. And guys, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. No matter what's going on, just remember,
The Force will be with you, always.